I just received my brand new Leica MP film camera, and this thing looks and feels incredible. I haven't even taken my first photo, but I just couldn't wait to film the unboxing. So this is not a full review. This is just an unboxing and why I decided to go with the Leica film camera. I've never shot analog film, but I have been using digital Leica for the last few years. I started out with the CL, and then the Q2, and then the SL2S, and then the M11, and then finally the Q3. Over the past year, getting into film has always been at the back of my mind, but I've always avoided it due to the hassle of getting the film developed and the costs of developing the film. But I finally decided to commit to film photography, and I purchased the Leica MP. I won't be shooting only film, but I'll be shooting both film and digital from now on. But even though handling and developing the film can be a hassle, there's a lot that's attractive about film photography. This camera is fully mechanical except for the internal light meter, so you don't have to carry around extra batteries or be worried about battery life. Even if the battery for the light meter runs out, this can still be fully functional. And this camera is fully manual, so it will force me to learn about aperture, ISO, and shutter speed. And because film is expensive and there's only 36 exposures in a roll, this will force me to pick and choose which shots I go for. With my Leica M11 or the Q3, I could just shoot all day, take unlimited pictures, and delete the ones I didn't like. And I could get instant gratification by looking at the screen. But with the MP, I'm going to have to be a lot more deliberate. So why did I choose the MP specifically? There's only 3 options for buying a brand new film camera from Leica. There's the M6 reissue from 2022. There's also this MP, and then there's the MA. I eliminated the MA because that has no internal light meter, and I'm not that good at doing metering by myself, and I didn't want to bring around an external extra light meter. But the MA is a very attractive camera. I think probably the best looking out of all 3 of these. And it is a very attractive idea to have a fully mechanical camera body. So it was down to either the M6 or the MP. And I think they're very similar cameras internally. They just look different on the outside and the finishing. I have handled the M6 at a Leica boutique in New York City, but I've never actually handled the MP. But I think the MP looks much better than the M6. It's a very heavy and substantial camera, and I like that limited Leica branding. So there's no red dot on the front, and there's just that Leica script on the top plate. And I would prefer it even better if it didn't even have that script on top. And there's just a couple of hints of red accents on the dials on top. The MP has the option of coming in the silver chrome or the Leica black lacquer black paint. I think the black version looks much nicer in my opinion, just more stealthy, more premium looking, and more professional looking. But I am a little bit worried about how the black paint can rub off and reveal that brassing underneath. It's not something that I'm especially attracted to, but I'm hoping it won't have that effect immediately. I've heard from other people that it takes over a year of heavy use to have the black paint wear off. Just like any M body, this camera is hand assembled, and it feels very solid. It feels very heavy and dense, and just like a solid piece of camera. And as I expected, the dial functioning is very crisp, and it has a very high tolerances. The lever is also very solid, and it has that extremely satisfying sounds with the forward advance and the shutter click. I purchased this at B&H Photo online at retail price, and it came with free shipping, and it actually came in the next 2 days. I haven't even loaded my first roll of film here, but I am going on a trip next week, and this will be my main camera, so it'll be a really good chance to go through a couple rolls of film. And while I'm at it, for my brand new premium film camera, I purchased a brand new premium lens. Now, this is not actually brand new, it was used from B&H, but it was listed as brand new condition, and it actually does look brand new after unboxing it. The 28mm Summilux f1.4 M lens is one of the best quality lenses in the M lineup. It's an extremely fast lens with a shallow depth of field. It's very sharp and very high resolving, and the colors are very accurate. But it is a big lens and kind of a heavy lens. So I'm hoping the weight of the MP will help balance out this lens. The box came with everything that I expected. The manuals, the guarantee, and the inspection card. And inside, the leather pouch is also in great looking shape. And when it comes from the factory, the lens is also wrapped in plastic. But this box was already unsealed, but I can't really see any visible signs of use on the lens. So it is a big and heavy lens, and it has a square lens hood with a plastic lens hood cover. And when I checked out the aperture ring, that's also feeling just as expected. It feels very similar to my 35mm Summilux and the 50mm Summilux. The aperture ring turns very smoothly, but I would prefer a little bit firmer stops. And the focus ring is also very smooth, and it feels pretty tight, but I think it feels just right. It does have a focus tab at the bottom also. So I'm excited to try out this lens also. This completes my trifecta of the Summilux lenses, the 28 Summilux, 35, and 50. Mounting the lens on the MP is also smooth and easy to do, although that lens release button on the camera body is a little bit smaller than my M11. And here it is on the MP body. Like I said, it does feel heavy and bulky, but I think the weight of the MP body helps balance that out. The black color of the lens does not match the black color of the camera body, but there's no getting around that. In comparing the MP to the M11, they look very similar, and the size looks very similar, except the M11 is taller. So overall, the MP feels more compact, and it feels even more dense than the Leica M11. The leatherette covering looks almost exactly the same, but you can see the big difference on the top plate of the black matte finishing on the M11 and the shiny black lacquer of the MP. Interesting, the MP did not seem to come with a hot shoe cover, so I'll have to probably purchase one of those separately. The only accessory that it came with was the camera strap, a battery, and a battery cover. And the camera strap is also very satisfactory. It does feel a little bit stiff now, but that should break in after a while. I like the size of the camera strap and the width. I think that's just right for me. And it also has those leather guards to help prevent scratching of the case. So my three main camera bodies right now are the M11, the MP, and the Q3. And you can see here that I just recently sold my SL2S. That was just getting too cumbersome and bulky to carry around, and I found that I really wasn't taking it out as much just because of how big and heavy it is. And also the big lenses on the SL don't help either. I was also having just too many choices in camera bodies and lenses, so I'm trying to pare down my lens collection also and just stick with mainly 28, 35, and 50. So I might be selling some of my older lenses, such as the 50 millimeter dual range and the reissues of the 28 and the 35 steel rim. So I can then just focus more on the super modern Summilux-s. And I can swap out the M lenses between the M11 and the MP. So I'll still be shooting digital, but I'll be shooting film as a supplement, and we'll see which one wins out over the long run. And once I get some photos shot on the MP and get them developed, I'll post an update video on that.